Hi mamas, welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing today? I am Ijeoma of the Savvy Moms. As you've already seen in the topic of the video, I'm going to be sharing my story as a PCOS mom that has 3 kids now. And I'm going to be telling you what I went through, what I did, and how I was able to overcome. Like I said earlier, I have 3 kids now despite having PCOS. So if you have PCOS, don't worry, there is always a way out of every situation you find yourself. Just have it in mind that you are not the first person to go through this, and a lot of people has gone through it and they have overcome. So I, for one, is an example. So don't worry. I'm going to be giving you all the tips and all the things that I did that actually made me overcome this particular situation. Okay. So if this sounds like something you are very interested in, please sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this video together. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel as you'll be getting so much juicy information from this channel. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Just let's dive into the video. Okay, the full meaning of PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is an hormonal disorder that interferes with the reproductive system of a female. So it is something that can be managed. And mind you, research already shows that 1 out of 10 women has PCOS. So don't worry, you're not alone. We are many in this box, okay? 1 out of 10. So imagine, see how common it is. As a matter of fact, PCOS might be the reason why so many women have not given birth in their marriages and they feel village people are after them. PCOS can stop you from having kids. Yes, it can hinder you from having kids. Like I said earlier, it interferes with the reproductive system of a female, and without the reproductive system of a female, no form of reproduction can happen. Okay, so I'm going to be giving you a list of the symptoms you might be seeing in your body that tells you that you might have PCOS. One of the major symptoms of PCOS is irregular period. Sometimes you get your period this month, sometimes you don't, sometimes you don't see it for like 6 months and you're not pregnant, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's your cycle can be like 30 days this month and the next one might be like in 35 days. So that is how irregular it is. People with PCOS or people with that kind of irregular period can't calculate how the number of days they ovulate or when they can ovulate or when their next period is coming. You can't place your hands on it because PCOS is going to help you dabaru duty. The second criteria for actually diagnosing PCOS is when the person have a higher level of androgen, which is a male hormone, which in turn makes you start having some features of a male. That is when you start seeing a woman that has facial hair, excessive hair growth. Though there are people that have natural hair growth or excessive hair growth, but with people with PCOS, they have them in some specific places that men usually grow their hair. As a result of that increased amount of androgen that is being produced in their body. Take for instance, under their jaw, around their, on top of their the mustache, begin to get hair around your body, places where on their chest, on the chest area. The third criteria for diagnosing PCOS is if you have an ovarian cyst in your vagina. Okay, so these are the criteria that actually leads to being diagnosed with PCOS. In my own case, I had the hair, I had so many irregular periods. Like my irregular periods was so bad that sometimes in so many months I won't see my period. And when I at the time I wasn't bothered because it's not like seeing your period, it's not like it's an experience we enjoy, but because I didn't know the consequences of it at the time before I got married, so I wasn't bothered. Sometimes this month I won't see my period and I know I did not meet a man, so there's no way I'm pregnant. So when I got married, that was when the old experience became a reality for me. Like I am someone that actually wanted to get pregnant immediately after getting wedded. Okay, I had this mentality of going into marriage, give birth, and then start your career in full. Okay, I don't want a situation whereby when I'm pursuing my career I will now fall pregnant. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I actually wanted to finish everything that has to do with giving birth until giving birth before I now forge into whatever thing I want to do with my life. Not knowing that man proposes and God disposes. Okay, so I had this plans, but God was doing his own thing. I don't know if it's God, sha. Okay, I got married, and then as someone that already had the plans of giving birth, doing all that, a month went by, 2 months, 3 months, nothing was happening. And I began to question myself, because before we got married, we carried out all the old tests we needed carried out from our church. According to them, we had to do like HIV test, pregnancy test, blood test, hepatitis. These so many tests, and all these tests, none of them actually indicate that I have, or if my husband had any form of issue. Okay, so it began to bother me. It began to become an issue. Okay, until like some months later, after the 3 months, I think some months later, some people started giving unsolicited advices. It became more difficult. Our mommy in the church now decided to like treat us of infection. She's a nurse, yes, she's a midwife. She decided to treat us of infection, and we went through like 7 days of getting in of getting injections, like 3 injections per day. We were also given these buckets of antibiotics that we needed to take. We went through all this and still nothing happened, and that was when I knew there might actually be an issue somewhere. Okay, so we decided to visit a gynecologist, a fertility doctor. Now these two people are two different people, but we went to a gynecologist first. Okay, so when we got to the gynecologist carried out his own test, asked questions, and asked us to go do so many series of tests. I, for one, I did HSD test, which I don't pray for my enemy. That shit is painful. God, I can't forget that day. I screamed down the whole building on the day of that test. So it was that painful. I was asked to HSG. I went through follicumetry, so many tests. My husband was also asked to do his own test. After carrying out all these tests, we went back to the gynecologist with the results, and he told me I had PCOS, and I also have one blocked fallopian tube. Yeah. So PCOS was one of the reasons why I couldn't bear kids, and then the blocked fallopian tube, people bear kids with one fallopian tube. Yes, if you know, women has two fallopian tubes, so the second one can as well function. You can as well give birth with it, but the fact that I have PCOS combined with mine made it very difficult. So I was treated of the fallopian tube, and then it was left with the PCOS, and the doctor asked me to change so many things, so many way of living that I had to live. I had to cut down on sugar, I had to watch my weight, I had to do so many other procedures that was also very necessary. But the major thing that he kept hammering on was watch what you eat, cut down your sugar, exercise regularly. If you are living with PCOS, I feel the major way to overcome this is to change your lifestyle in general. Okay, you need to live a very healthy lifestyle for you to be able to overcome this. Like, cut down on carbs, do more proteins, do more vegetables, take your meds when necessary, and also exercise, get enough rest. That was also one thing he kept hammering on. Get enough rest. I was asked to rest as much as I can, exercise myself every morning, make sure I move, make sure my heart is pumping. So I have to do these things, coupled with the fact that there are other tests that I was also asked to keep going on with. Okay, as time goes on, I started seeing changes, and in December I took in. In December I took it, and not knowing I was pregnant, some weeks later I started bleeding, and I thought it's just the normal irregular thing. I didn't know I was pregnant at the time. So I bled for like 5 days, 6 days. Yeah, 5 days, 6 days, and it wasn't stopping. I called him, and they said I should come to the hospital immediately. We went there, and I was asked to go and do a CT scan, like a scan. I went for the scan, and I was told I miscarried. I wanted to die that day. Oh god, it was just too much for me. Imagine something you have been looking for, and then you finally get it. You didn't even know you've gotten it, and then you lose it. It was as if the whole world should crumble on me. I felt so bad, I felt so terrible. The doctor said there was nothing that could be done because I've bleeded too much, and we just have to keep trying for another. And then he asked me to come for flushing, because I already have one block for a fallopian tube, so I just needed to flush out the remains of the one. I was like, no, I'm not flushing out this thing I'm looking for. Lie, I'm not going to do it. You know, it was like I should come on the 22nd, like 3 days to Christmas. I was like, this Christmas is just one Christmas that it is not just working out for me. I cried my heart out, and it was a very tough time for me, but what needs to be done needs to be done. I had to go for the flushing. I was flushed, and I went about my life, okay. And then after that flushing in January, we went back to the gynecologist, and he placed me on Clomid. Okay, there were times when I had to take Clomid, and Clomid is a drug that helps in producing the eggs in your body as a female. Okay, so I was placed on Clomid. I was placed on pregnant care for those that are trying to conceive. I took so many drugs. So after that, and I was also going for follicumetry every month. Okay, every month I have to go for follicumetry at a designated time of the month for me to go check when my eggs are going to drop, so that when it drops we have to have sex that period, like 2 to 3 days at a stretch, in order for us to be able to catch that egg. And we continued this for months, and it wasn't working out. Okay, it wasn't working out. Sometimes I will go for follicumetry, they will tell me my eggs weren't ripe enough. Sometimes I will go, they will tell me my eggs were too mature. So it was just one draining experience for me. um See, I'm just going to say this: if you see a woman that got married and is still trying to conceive, be empathic towards them. It is not their fault, okay? Don't make it seem like they are the problem. Most times it is not their fault, okay? Trust me, if it is something that they can go to the market and buy, some people don't mind selling all their property to buy it, okay? But be empathic, be pray for them, be sweet to them, be kind, be loving to them, because they are going through a lot. You see, not having kids after getting married is one problem that a woman should not face, especially if you actually want children. Apart from those that actually don't want, some people don't want to have kids, or some people don't mind waiting like some years before trying for kids. Apart from that, there are some people that actually want these children, and they are not just from it. So pray for them, be empathic towards them. Don't make them feel bad because they are already going through a lot. I remember then I had sleepless nights. I cried to bed most of the time. I was depressed. Nothing you tell me at that time made sense. Like, I kept questioning myself, what is the major issue? I'm not the type that lived a wayward life when I was in school. I've never had an abortion. I've never tampered with my internal organs. So what exactly was the issue? These were the questions I was asking. So imagine another person in that situation too. They might be asking same questions, and people around them might actually be making jest of them. Okay. Their in-laws might actually be on their neck, and you outside shouldn't also contribute to their problem. So try to be empathic towards them. Try to be kind to them. It's not easy. They are going through a lot. Though they come out and they behave like it is well. It is not well. Let me tell you, it is not well. Okay, I've digressed. I was placed on clomids. I was placed on pregnant care. So many drugs that were very expensive. Trust me, this process is a very expensive one. It is very expensive. So these drugs cost a lot. So I went for follicumetry, like I said earlier, and all these joined together weren't working. Yes, it weren't working. At some point, I got tired. I got very tired. I told God, see, I'm going to drop all this medicine. I'm going to drop all of them. Like, there wasn't a day that goes by that I don't drink like up to 10 drugs. I told God this month, specifically in the month of March, I told God this month, I'm not going to take any form of meds. I'm not going to take any form of medicine. I'm just going to leave you to do your thing. And I feel like it is my faith that actually made things work out for me. Okay. I feel like God didn't want to share his glory with any medicine. And that was why I decided to take that step. And lo and behold, at the end of that month, I took it. Yeah. I had my son. I was so happy in December. Yeah. I was so happy. Like, up until now, I didn't know what actually happened. Though I know that God didn't want to, if God didn't want to make mouth for himself, the medicine would have still worked. But I felt like he wanted to show that he himself is God. You as human, do all you want to do. Go ahead, try everything you want to try. At the end of the day, leave space for me to show myself. Okay, and that was what I did. I dropped all the drugs I was taking. I focused on God and God alone. I prayed my heart out. I did everything that a Christian that was actually desperate for something. I did everything. I prayed, and luckily, fortunately for me, I took it, and since then it's been like after divine, a year passed. Like immediately after 1 year, I took it for my second child. Immediately after another year, I took it to my third child. I was like, "Ah, wait, oh, it's okay. You don't do, you don't do. I'm no longer interested, please." So in NS, and what I'm trying to say is, be prayerful. Okay, I think that should be the number one criteria. Be very, very prayerful. Pray until something happens. Okay, pray until something happens. Secondly, see a gynecologist or see a fertility doctor. And when I say see a gynecologist or fertility doctor, I know I don't mean you should go and see your regular everyday doctor. Okay, there are people that are specialized about these things with these things. So see them. Thirdly, live a very, very healthy lifestyle. Okay, if you are someone that is trying to conceive, you are trying to conceive, live a really, really healthy lifestyle. Don't smoke, don't take alcohol, don't take too much sugar, exercise regularly, get your rest when necessary. Might be cautious of the things that goes into your body, because it just little thing can disrupt the whole thing. So yes, be careful what goes into your body. Fourthly, have sex, have enough sex. You can never get tired of having sex if you're trying to conceive. Yes, it becomes a chore at some point. It becomes like a duty at some point. But it's something you need to do. It's something you need to do. The fifth point is, know your cycle, know your menstrual cycle, know when you're ovulating, know when your menstruation is coming, know when you are finished ovulating, know when you just know your cycle, know your body. Like, you're a woman, know your body, know everything that is happening within you. Don't be nonchalant about it, because any little change means something. Okay, Any little thing means something. So I hope this story today has impacted someone. I hope you've taken a thing or two from this video. I'll be very glad to interact with you in my comment section. Please drop a comment or two, ask me questions about what I did and how I went about it, and I'll be glad to answer you. Okay, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I am begging you, subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, watch the videos, like the videos, make YouTube know that this channel is interactive. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video up until this moment. I truly appreciate you. I love having you around. Love you once again, and I'll be seeing you in my next one. Bye bye.